Welcome back, Nuggets. This mother clucker has some thoughts. Let's ruffle some feathers and get into the video. Okay, my Nuggets, this is going to be a little bit of a different video than normal because I wanted to have a little bit of a real talk with you all, given some things that I've observed online recently. So if you would, I just wanted to take a moment to deliver what I have to say, and then after that, I'll do a little bit of analysis on Eugenia's recent Disney trips. A message about my channel's future. I just wanted to take a moment today to speak with you all about something that's been weighing on my heart quite a bit as we continue to discuss and analyze the behavioral patterns of content creators like Eugenia. It's impossible to ignore the very concerning trajectory that some of these stories appear to be taking. As someone who watches these patterns closely, I feel a growing sense of urgency around this conversation. Many of you have expressed worry in the comments, and I absolutely share those concerns with you. The reality we face is that for some of the individuals we discuss here, particularly those dealing with severe health issues, there's a possibility that their stories may reach a tragic conclusion. And this is especially true for Eugenia, whose situation has appeared increasingly precarious. I want to be transparent with you about my intentions should we face such a difficult circumstance. And after considerable reflection, I've decided that if the worst were to happen, I would continue to analyze and discuss their content after their passing. This decision was not made lightly, and from the beginning of this channel, I've been transparent that my analysis of Eugenia comes from a deeply personal place. I see her path as one that I might have taken had my circumstances in life been different, had I have made different choices and not continually sought a way out of my situation. This connection is why continuing this analysis feels so important to me, and I believe that examining these stories, even after they've ended, serves an important purpose. These analyses can help us understand the patterns that led to the tragedy, recognize the warning signs, and perhaps help to prevent similar situations in the future. I really believe that a life lost too soon can still leave behind lessons that might save others. I promise you that any analysis after their passing would maintain the same level of compassion and humanity that I've always tried to bring to these discussions. This world dehumanizes too easily, and it is my mission to maintain the humanity within the women that I cover. This isn't about exploitation or sensationalism. It's about learning from these cautionary tales while respecting the real people at their center. I also want to make it perfectly clear that I understand this approach may not align with your personal values or comfort level. Mental health is complex, and grief even more so. I recognize that we all experience grief and passing uniquely, and it's influenced by our cultural backgrounds, our spiritual beliefs, and our personal experiences. These differences are valid and deserve respect. If continuing to watch analyses after their passing would contradict your beliefs about honoring those who have passed, or would be detrimental to your own well-being, I completely understand and encourage you to prioritize your values and mental health. There is no judgment here, only respect of your boundaries and perspectives. My hope, of course, unwaveringly, is that we never have to face this situation, that interventions succeed, that recovery happens, and these stories take unexpected turns towards healing. But I believe in being prepared and transparent with you, my Nuggets, about how I would approach such difficult circumstances. I welcome your thoughts on this matter. This channel has always been about respectful discussion, and that extends to how we navigate these challenging ethical questions together. Thank you so much for your understanding, and as always, for being part of this thoughtful community. So with that said, I am aware that this decision may be quite controversial, and especially when the time comes, people may take exception to it. But I deeply believe in the messages that I'm delivering on this channel, and I think it's important for people to hear them. So after a decision with such weighty consideration behind it, I'm going to stand behind that. And why I'm delivering this message to you. Now, I have been the person over the last couple of years saying, people have been saying that she's going to game over for years. And yeah, people have been saying that for years. But I was just ambiently keeping track of Eugenia while doing the deep dives that I'm going to keep doing for you, and watching her go to Disney and seeing the live streams that she's been putting up. And I am concerned. I am very, very concerned. And I do understand. See my nuggets. I've talked about this before. I really, really struggle to get my head into a space where there is no fire left. I understand that not everybody has the fire. I also understand that at the weakest and most downtrodden, worst moment of my life so far, I know that I still had this tiny little ember burning somewhere inside me. And I never really stopped fighting, even though at times in my life the fight seemed very small. With all of the women that I cover, I wonder if they have that little ember in them, and can it be gently coerced back to a roaring fire? I don't know. And I do believe in personal freedoms, and ultimately what adults choose to do with their life and their body, it is, so long as it's not hurting others. I know that's debatable in this situation too, but it is ultimately Eugenia's choice how she wants to live her life, and this seems to be her choice. And there has been some discussion around the place that we probably left the point of no return a while back, and this is just her living out the best parts of her life, of what she can do. Now, I don't like to talk about the physical aspects and the appearance, because I know what it's like to have the body dysmorphia. I know how triggering that can be, and I really, really like to keep that out of my conversations. But just for this one video, because it's so deeply linked to her health status and her behaviors at the moment, I just want to spend a very quick moment talking about it. So if that's something that you don't want to witness, I'll leave a little time code for you to skip forward. So I discovered these photos from her going to Disney, and we're seeing here some really disturbing aspects of the physical well-being, shall we say. I know that she's, of course, been severely underweight for a long time, but there's just something that's like whispering in my ear that something is very, very different right now. And hey, she's still here. In a couple of years I'm going to totally eat my words, but this is what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling at this point in time. Now, something else that I did notice of her last 2 Disney trips, and they were only a month apart, almost exactly a month apart. And I did notice that she wore the same clothes in the photos that she uploaded, and seemingly the same makeup. Now, my first thought is, well, she didn't go to Disney the second time. She's uploading old photos. But then she's seemingly doing live streams from Disney. So that puts a little bit of a question mark over that. It could be that maybe she didn't feel like taking photos this time and she is reusing old photos. It could be that she's just going as many times as she possibly can before tragedy occurs, and her mother's with her the entire time. Here's what I'm hoping though, Nuggets. I'm hoping that she's doing these frequent trips to Disney, maybe staying at Disney even, to cover up maybe some treatment that's happening. Because I have no doubt that somebody like Eugenia would not want her public to know if she's getting any sort of medical assistance. I certainly wouldn't want the internet to know if I were her. And I kind of hope that maybe she's pretending to go to Disney, or maybe just going to Disney one day, like to the actual amusement park for one day, and then doing something else for the rest of the days. I don't know. I don't know. And this is all speculation, and conspiracy theories have always followed Eugenia around. But what we do know is that she has been live streaming. We also know that her mother has been with her pretty much every live stream that she's been doing. So it's rough. It's bleak. This certainly brings out quite a bit of emotion in me. I would be interested to know how you're feeling as well. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me how you're feeling. And something that I just really wanted to drive home about the point of this channel is, although I relate most heavily to Eugenia, just because of the mother dynamic that I think is going on there, I could be totally wrong. It's my perspective. But I do see aspects of myself in the other women as well, and probably other people that I will cover in the future. But something that I observe about these illustrations of people, you know, they're extreme in their situation. They're almost larger than life in that way. No pun intended for, gosh, poor choice of words, mother clucker. They are what happens when we give into our fears, when we succumb and our world gets smaller and smaller and we don't fight that fear monster anymore. We just keep feeding it. This is what happens. And the extreme can be represented in so many different ways, you know, from Eugenia to Hungry Fat Chick Candy, or like pretty much any show on TLC, right? You could see hoarding, you could see intense substance use. There's so many ways that it can manifest, but it's what happens when we give into our fears and when we allow that fear monster to completely take over our lives. I don't know about you, Nuggets. If you find yourself in this situation, something that I really want to get across is take something from these people. Learn something from these people. Challenge yourself in a way that these people never challenged themselves. Believe in yourself, but stop thinking that there's something wrong with you, that there's something that you're missing that the rest of the world has. It's just not fact. You are capable, you are worth it, and you can succeed so long as you do not feed that fear monster of yours. But this is an endlessly complex topic that I could speak for hours on, and have, I suppose, and will continue to do. But I genuinely hope that you all understand my stance on this matter. And I hope that you can respect my perspective and motivation for doing this, and respect that our perspectives and motivations do not need to align, and that's absolutely okay. So I guess that's all the clucks I have left to give today. Stay golden, my little nuggets. Thank you for listening deeply from my heart, and I'll catch you next time.
Hey, I'm gonna go watch another video.